Hello and welcome to my video. This video is all about the government bounce back loans. It goes through what the loans are, what conditions you need to meet, the small print if you like, and then considers how much you might want to borrow if borrowing is the right thing for you. Now it's filmed on the 10th of May, so it's current at this moment. This is fairly fast moving, so things may move over time. If you would like to keep informed as things change, then please subscribe to the channel and I will keep putting content out there as it becomes available. And if you press the like button, it really helps me, so please consider doing that as well. So the government bounce back loans. So let's go through what they are. So the first thing, I've written it all down here. So the rules to start with. So the first, probably the most important thing is that they're for loans for between £2,000 and £50,000. Now that's quite a lot of money. £50,000 is a lot of money, and the ease with which you can get them is really the key thing. Now, so let's look at some of the security you have to give, and the security you have to give is no security. So there's no personal guarantees by the directors, and it'll be your company that borrows the money. There's no security, no personal security by the directors. There are no charges, so the initial charges to set up the loans, there are none of those. And the year one interest is 0. Now after year one, the interest is capped for the next 5 years, so it's 6 years in total. First year, no interest, and then the interest is at 2.5%. So it is the cheapest money that you're likely to get. Maybe there are a few people with mortgages that are a little bit lower than that, but not many. So what do you have to say? So you have to say that you were adversely affected by the current situation. So I guess if you're, I don't know, if you're a hand sanitizer manufacturer or a manufacturer of face masks, then you can't apply for this. But there is no definition sort of given of what is adversely affected. It's just a common sense rule. And of course, most businesses have been adversely affected one way or another. The money comes really quickly. So I've seen it where it's come in less than 12 hours. So people apply online with their banks, the money's in their account within 12 hours. 48 hours is the sort of benchmark, which, I mean, if you've ever borrowed money from a bank, you will know that that is lightning quick. And it's lightning quick because the government is guaranteeing the money, so the banks are taking no risk. So I've been asked, you know, if we get this loan, can we still get the £10,000 that the government's given out? Yes, you can. You can have that as well as this loan, and you can get the furlough money as well as this loan. So this is additional to all of that help. And they say explicitly in the rules that it may finance other loans. So if you've got other loans at a higher interest, for example, you might want to pay those off with this money. That'd be great. So shall we have a look at the small print? So there is, I'm going to rattle through the small print, but I think it is important. You just need to be careful to make sure that you are in compliance with it. So the money can't be used personally, so you can't go on holiday with it. If we can at some stage go on holiday, would be nice. It does have to be for the economic benefit of the business. I don't know how they prove that, but it does have to be for the business's economic benefit. The company must not be bankrupt, and it must not have been in financial difficulty at the end of December last year. So December 19, the business must not have been in financial difficulties. You must be a trade, so if you're simply a landlord company, you can't have it. You do have to be a trading business. You can't use one of the other loans. So there are other loans for you know, £250,000 or whatever. You can't have one of those and one of these, and there's only one of these loans per business. So if you've got 2 bank accounts, you can't claim the £50,000 for each bank account for each different bank. And it's for LLPs and limited companies, so not for sole traders, therefore. So that sounds amazing, really. There is a bit of small print, but on the whole, most people will comply with that. And some of the rules in terms of, it has to be for trade, it has to be for the benefit of the business, are reasonably difficult to define. So I would hope that most people do apply. So is this really this good? That's the question. So this is likely to be, as I said, the cheapest money you're likely to get. It is debt. And I think, and particularly think at the moment, that debt simply is stress. So the more debt you have, the more stress you have in your life. And it is debt. It is a monthly commitment. You don't have to make any commitments for a year, but you still will have to make those monthly commitments. And that will put some stress on your business. So you need to be aware of that. Your business is, although you personally are not liable, your business is liable to pay the money back. They're not just giving you free money that you don't ever have to pay back, or you could just say, sorry, we can't afford it. You do have to pay it back. And there are repercussions to your business if you don't pay it back. But is this really good, really as good as it sounds? The answer is yes. I mean, it just is. The only thing that's nagging in the back of my mind is it prudent for the government to be giving money so easily to so many people, some of whom might be less scrupulous than you, but it's not for me to answer what the politicians do. What is for me to do is to interpret those rules and explain them to my clients, and I'll help my clients to making full advantage of the rules as they are. I'll leave morality and all the rest of it to others, nearly all the time. So how much should you borrow? So first of all, you've got to remember that things like the VAT, so the VAT, you don't have to pay VAT for this quarter that we're in up until the 30th of June. So any VAT payments up until that date, you don't have to pay, but you do have to pay them by the 5th of April next year. So therefore, you need to make sure you've got the money on hand, and this might be the way that you borrow. If you really can't pay your VAT at the moment, then maybe make one of these loans so that when we come through to April, you will have the money to make the payment. And I think that might be important for quite a lot of people. And I see that as being quite a big pinch point. And there's also some self-assessment tax that doesn't need to be paid in July, but again, it'll ratchet up, and people will be paying their tax during this year on last year's profits, so we'll have the money, and people will be paying their personal tax based on the tax year that's just ended. Will they have the money? So you just need to think of all those tax payments, some of which are retrospective and relate to a previous good year. And then I think you need to think about, will your sales recover? I mean, a lot of businesses are very obviously affected. If you're a taxi driver or something related to travel, then your business is very obviously affected. But it's the second line businesses like ours where our clients might be affected in that direct way, or their client might be affected in that way. And I think it's just think through the full implications of maybe a nasty little recession that we're going to have. So you need to be able to fund perhaps a drop in sales. I don't say it's going to, but when we're looking at funding, we're looking sort of worst case, aren't we, or nearly worst case. And I think the other thing relating to that is, will your debtors pay, and will you be able to get the same credit terms from your suppliers that you needed in the past, that you're able to get in the past. And so the good thing is as well is that these loans are going to be available until the 4th of November. So you don't need to rush into it. If you don't need the money right now because you're getting the furloughed money, you've got your £10,000, all the rest of it, then you don't need to ask for it now. Something in me tells me buy now while stocks last, but they've said that these loans will be available until the 4th of November. So you can wait, see what see how things return to work. At that time, assess whether you're going to have enough money, and then borrow some money if you need to. And I think maybe not rushing it would be my advice. So that's all the main things on the business loans. It's all you can access this through the British Business Bank, but you go onto your own bank. So you borrow through your own bank. It's your own bank that lends the money. At the moment, it's not every bank. It's a relatively small number of banks, but more and more banks over the next few weeks are going to be online. So if you can't borrow through your bank, you might want to wait until your bank comes up and run and just ask them when they might this might be available through them, because it'll be a lot easier because you don't have all that anti-money laundering stuff to get through if you apply for the money through your own bank. And so you do it through your own bank. It's on all of their websites, and each bank has a different sort of form or e-form that you need to fill in. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for sticking to the end. If you would like to like the video, that really helps me. And if you want more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. You'll be very welcome here. Thank you.